Okay, now we're going to have a little look at subtracting fractions. So I'm going to start with a similar example to in the adding fractions video. So I'm going to start off with two fractions where the denominator is the same. Okay, so I'm actually going to use the same example as last time, but I'm going to do a subtraction instead of an add. So this time I'm going to do 5/8 minus 1/8. Okay, so when the denominators are the same, they will stay the same for the answer as well. So that will still be over 8. I just need to now do 5 minus 1, and that will give me 4. Okay, I notice that I can simplify this fraction, so I'm not going to leave my answer as that. I know that 4/8 is actually equal to 1/2. When I'm subtracting fractions where the denominators are multiples or factors of each other, it's very similar to adding. I'm going to have to change one of them. So for an example, let's have a look at 3/5 minus 2/10. So again, a bit like last time, I know that 5 goes into 10, so my 2/10 can stay the same, but my 3/5 is going to have to be changed. So using my knowledge of equivalent fractions, I know that 3/5 is equal to 6/10. Okay, because following that rule, whatever you do to the bottom, which was timesing it by 2, you also have to do to the top. So I've actually now got 6/10 minus 2/10. Leave my denominator the same and just do 6 minus 2, which is 4. Again, using my knowledge of equivalent fractions, I can simplify this down even further into 2/5. Okay, finally having a look at an example where the denominators are completely different from each other and they will both need changing. I'm going to go straight into a fresh page for this one because it takes up a little bit more room. So for my example, I'm going to have a look at 5/6 minus 1/4, okay? 4 doesn't go into 6, 6 obviously doesn't go into 4, so they're both going to need changing. So I'm going to have to use that method of finding the lowest common denominator or the lowest common multiple. So I will write out some of my 6 times tables just down here out of the way. And then I will write out some of my 4s. And there we go, I've got it. 12. Okay, so I'm just going to do 5/6 is equal to something over 12. Thinking about that rule, whatever you do to the bottom, which was timesing it by 2, you have to do to the top. That gives me 10/12. And then having a look at my other one, 1/4 is something over 12. This time I'm multiplying by 3, so I must do the same to the top. And that gives me 3/12. So my new calculation to do is 10/12 minus 3/12, and that will leave me with 7/12. Okay, I can't simplify this one down any further, so I'm going to leave that answer as it is. The basic rule for adding and subtracting fractions is that you cannot add or subtract until both your denominators are the same.